You know, sometimes you walk into a movie with a kind of a preconceived notion. You're thinking it's going to be bad. Maybe the trailer was terrible. You don't like the actors that are in it. The director's no good. And every so often you're kind of surprised and it kind of exceeds the expectations. This is kind of what happened here with The Last Witchhunter. But don't get me wrong. I really hope this is The Last Witchhunter. And with that, I welcome you to another episode of The Real Mentor. Again, my goal to enhance your movie watching experience. Just got back from an early screening for Vin Diesel's newest movie, The Last Witchhunter. And although it did exceed my expectations, let me just lay this foundation down that my expectations were pretty low to begin with. Now, this isn't a great movie by any stretch of the imagination. It's not really a bad movie. It kind of falls right there in the middle. This kind of reminds me, it's 2 a.m., it's jackal hour at the bar, the guys are drunk, looking around to see who can they take home. You see some girl, she looks all right, buy her a couple of drinks, take her home because there's not many options left. Wake up the next morning, you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But you still had fun earlier that evening, so it isn't that bad. In a couple of days, you'll forget about her. This is what this movie is like. You watch it, you may regret it, you may not, and you'll forget about it in a couple of days. So The Witchhunter starts off about 800 years or so in the past. We're given this interesting looking Vin Diesel who, along with his cohorts, are chasing down this powerful witch. And he does end up slaying her, but not before she curses him with eternal life, immortality. I'm not really sure that's a curse, but that's how the movie wants to play it. So now we fast forward to modern times. We got Vin Diesel now, who's charged with policing and monitoring witchcraft activity. He ensures that the witches out there in the world aren't using black magic against humans. It's against the code that's been set forth over the last few hundred years. There's a covenant of witches that he works with, who passes judgment on the witches who violate the code. And there's this world of a group of priests, if you will, who are assigned to aid Vin Diesel. Particularly in this case, it's Michael Caine's character, who's almost like a father figure. He's a friend, and he basically not only assists Vin Diesel's character, but he chronicles the life and times and things that he does. So Michael Caine is set to retire, and in comes Elijah Wood, who ends up taking his place. Now, actually, like Elijah Wood, who we all know from Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, he actually brings a lot of moments of levity to the movie, and he ends up working with Vin Diesel, who now have to unravel this mystery because someone has cursed Michael Caine, if you will, and he has a few days to live. Now Vin Diesel is racing against time to figure out what's going on. He also recruits the helps of Rose Leslie, a fellow witch, who has special abilities which become advantageous to him. Now we all know Rose Leslie from Game of Thrones. She of course was Jon Snow's love interest, and in a nice little moment of intimacy in a cave, she quickly finds out, contrary to popular belief, that Jon Snow does actually know a little something. So there's a good dynamic between the three of them. I particularly like Vin Diesel. He's okay and kind of carries the movie. The villains are pretty much forgettable. But the three of them really did a good job of carrying the movie. I mean, overall, it's entertaining. It's not going to blow your socks off. It doesn't really give you anything new. It's not as imaginative as I would like it to be. Now, they do introduce you to an interesting world of the witches and what they do, and kind of reminiscent to what Underworld did with the world of the Lycans and vampires and whatever. Another mediocre movie, although this one's probably a little bit better. So the biggest problem with the movie actually comes in the third act. The final battle sequence is a little flat, unimaginative, to be perfectly honest with you. They could have done a little bit more. There's a twist that comes along with it, which is pretty much stupid, comes out of nowhere, unnecessary. It doesn't really ruin the movie. It's still entertaining for the most part. Now, would I recommend it to you guys? Honestly, save yourself the $10, $12. Watch it at home, video on demand when it comes out, Netflix, whatever it is that you guys do, Redbox. If you guys are desperate to go to the movies, want to be entertained, turn your brain off for a couple hours, you like Vin Diesel, you know, go right ahead. But honestly, wait till it comes out on video. Now, don't take my word for it. I have my special real correspondent, my good friend George. He's actually at another premiere, another screening for the movie. George, are you there?
Yes, real mentor. I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, where exactly are you right now?
I'm here at Aventura Mall at AMC 24. I'm at the screening of The Last Witchhunter. I'm trying to get some feedback from you.
So what is everybody saying? What's the consensus for people you've spoken to out there?
The consensus of the movie is a little bit mixed. It was a little bit good, it was a little bit bad. People compared it to Blade. People compared it to Underworld. Some people compared it to The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
And what about yourself? Did you like it, and what do you recommend?
Would I recommend this movie? You know, after seeing it, you know, I do kind of agree with you. You know, I'm with them. It was really good. You know, I would recommend it. You know, if you got a little bit time to kill and, you know, and you want to see it, sure. There's a lot worse things you can do than watch this movie.
Okay, Jojo, I appreciate that, man. Thank you again for your feedback, and I hope to hear from you soon, man.
Oh yeah, no problem. Back to you, Real Mentor.
So there you go. Mediocrity across the board. So, The Last Witchhunter, you plan to see it? Did you like it? Let me know what you guys think. As always, subscribe below whether you like the review or not. Subscribe anyway. Feed my need to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. I got an early screening for Paranormal Activity, the latest one, so I'll give that review coming up in a couple of days. And as always, you can follow me on Twitter at The Real Mentor. I'll see you guys next time.